Hi everyone, it's Amy from Nail Polish Baby 90 and welcome to today's video. Today I thought I would go through all of my mainstream yellow nail polishes because I didn't think it would be a very long video. I've now got the polishes out and there's a lot of them. So buckle in. So a few people have commented on previous videos how much I talk about the Essie yellows, and for behind the scenes intel, Essie and most mainstream nail polish brands didn't used to do yellows a lot. We are very, very blessed with the amount of yellow nail polishes that are now brought into our lives by so many brands. But originally when I started collecting nail polish, which was about 11 years ago, yellows were not something that was made. And I think it was because it was so hard to get a good yellow formula that most brands just stayed away from it. And I remember my dear friend Just Face 90's rules would always be, if you see an Essie yellow, you have to get an Essie yellow, because out of all the brands, Essie notoriously made them the least, and there has been and there is some really expensive older yellows like Funky Limelight that are really, really coveted to this day. So I haven't re-swatched any of these are just my swatches from when I originally wore them. I'm wearing yellows nails today. Let's dive in. We'll start with Essie because we've just talked about them for 5 minutes. I have tons and tons and tons. So in literally, we'll do the one that I'm wearing, then no particular order. So you know the Espadrille is the one that I'm wearing today. Slightly more of a mustardy, maybe a few drops of orange in there. Yellow, love it. Really, really good formula on this one. Who else remembers the 1000th nail polish colour from Essie, which was aimed to Misbehave? I love that they went ahead and did this funky cap on there, and they also gave us a yellow. It's like they knew that we were after a yellow, or more yellows from them, I should say. I have one from the Gel Couture range, and this one is called Avant Garment. A bit more of a pastel buttercup type colour, but that is the only one that I have from Gel Couture. I have one from Essie Love range, and this is a few drops of yellow in a white base, so a really, really soft pastel yellow, and that one is called On the Brighter Side. For Scentational, I have included it in here because to me it is a yellow, but there is definitely a few more drops of green in there. I also have an OPI that's kind of the same, this kind of yellow green borderline, but it's counting for a yellow. Another one with a funky cap, and this one is called Sharpen Up. I think this was like a back to school type collection. I got it in TK Maxx for the purposes of a funky cap, 100%. Break It Sundown is one of my favourite yellows. Again, it is a little bit more of the orangey, darker tone, but it is just a great formula, a really nice, bright, maybe slightly more wearable yellow because it is that darker colour, but definitely one of my favourites. Sunshine Be Mine. Again, a lot of these newer ones are more new and modern with the wide brush as well. That definitely helps with the applications on these. Trying to apply an old yellow with not a great formula and a bad brush is not something I want to be doing. Hey There was from an autumn collection, I want to say, a little bit more of a lighter yellow, and then finishing us up on Summer Solstice. This probably is the most rare one that I have, just because this was exclusive to Europe only, I want to say. So a little bit more unusual because they do a Summer Solstice collection for parts of Europe, not even available easily in the UK either, so that's definitely my rarest yellow. One Barry M. My Barry M collection is really small, but this is from the Jelly High Shine range, and it is called Lemon Sorbet, the only yellow from Barry M that I own. Two from Orly, and they do on first glance look very similar, which is what I also told myself, but this one, Here Comes the Sun, is slightly darker. Do I need both of these? Do I need 30 yellow nail polishes in general? The debate is out. And then Claim to Fame is the slightly brighter one of the two. So those are my Orlys. Two from Colour Club. The first one is called Like a Boss. This is more of like your pastel bleach neon. And then the other one is called Macaroon Swoon. Both really, really great formulas actually, specifically Macaroon Swoon. I remember when I first wore that one, I was very, very impressed with the formula. But we have like pastel, bleach neon, yellow pastel. Three from Sally Hansen Insta Dry. If you know me, you know that I only really buy the Sally Hansens that are collaboration colours. So the first one is PEEPS Yellow. Again, a really nice, bright, fun, springtime, Easter peep yellow. Darker from the Crayola collaboration. This is Dandelion, which is meant to be like the Crayola yellow pencil crayon colour. And then they did do Canary, which is from the Back to School Crayola line that came out second. So slightly yellow, more white based. Move to China Glaze, where I do have three. This first one is from the Dippin' Dots collection, and it's Lemon Ice. And this is one of the best yellows that I have in more recent. I love not only the yellow colour but also the tiny shimmery particles on it. They just look great. There's loads in this collection, loads. There's probably about 3 in this Dippin' Dots collection that were all the same with the little fine shimmers, and I just think they're great. And then the other 2 that I have are really old school nostalgic. So Lemon Fizz, which is just a classic yellow of the ages to me. Both of these are just ones that I just felt like, oh my goodness, look how small the brush is. So old school. There was a couple of collections that came out from China Glaze where they had just all iconic pastel shades, and Lemon Fizz is just 100% takes me back to that. And then Celtic Sun, which is one of the first neon yellows that I ever did own. The formula could be better. It's very watery, it's very old school. It definitely could do with thickening up and being a little bit more opaque, but it was the best at the time. Round out with OPI. I do have more OPIs than what I thought I did. The first one we'll go with is the one that's the least yellow, and this is called Don't Talk Back to Me. It does have green khaki-ness to it, but I would still say it's yellow. There's also a silver shimmer, so it's a very ugly, pretty, strange colour, but I'm going to say it's yellow. Great colour from the OPI with Hello Kitty original collection. This is called My Twin Mimmy. Again, just the great, bright Crayola sunshine yellow. Love. We'll do the rest with the new label first before we do the old ones. So from the Grease collection, we have Meter Boy Cute as Can Be, In Between a Bright and a Pastel. We then have Don't Cry Over Spilt Milkshakes that I want to say came out in the same collection, because I remember that Grease collection had quite a lot of doubles, like 2 greens, 2 pinks, 2 yellows. So they could have done. The name sounds like they do, but this one is a very, very, very soft white, few drops of yellow in there, very barely yellow, like same as with the Essie. Only a couple drops of yellow in there, super pastel. And then from one of the more recent collections in an OPI Infinite Shine, I do have Be Unapologetic, which is really fun because it's got lots of yellow shimmer. So it's yellow with yellow shimmer, really fun, beautiful, bright. I want to say this is maybe 2021 summer collection, at a guess. And then finishing up with the older ones, we do have Never a Dullest Moment. I love this collection. This is the Washington DC collection that they did. Kerry Washington was the face of the collection. I loved it. I have so many from this collection. It was autumn. It had this beautiful mustard yellow in. So, so beautiful. I love it a lot. And then I Just Can't Cope-cabana from the Brazil collection. Again, just so nostalgic when I think about this polish and how long I've had it. I really, really love this one a lot, and it's got a really nice wide brush on it, which I think is why when this came out it was one of the better yellows at the time, because the wide brush really helped with that application, and it's got a great name. I Just Can't Cope-cabana. I've just realised as I've literally packed everything away and was about to put this ring light away that you're probably shouting at me that on the side were the Zoya yellows that I didn't show you. So I'm just inserting them here randomly into the middle of this video. So I do have 3 from Zoya. The first one was Pippa, old school one, had this a really long time. This is before I was on the PR list, so certainly I've been on working with Zoya for probably about 7-8 years now. So Pippa is an older one. B is one that came out in a spring collection a few years ago, slightly lighter, more pastel. And then we do have this beautiful Honey. So we have B and Honey. Honey is probably my favourite out of the 3. It kind of looks like what I'm wearing on my nails today, but it is not. It is something a bit more orangey, a bit more opaque, a bit more wearable. Like I said with some of the other ones earlier, I tend to associate more of the mustard colours with ones that people would wear on their nails a bit more easier, and certainly takes less time to apply. The Zoya 3. So I'd be interested to know how many of these yellows you have, your opinion on yellow nails in general. People love it, people hate it. Certainly for a colour that maybe people don't wear as their standard like manicure, I seem to have amassed a lot of yellows. So I hope you enjoy going through all of my yellow mainstream nail polishes with me. Like I say, comment, subscribe, like, all of that, and I will see you soon. Bye.